Welcome back, you lovely bunch. Thanks for tuning again. I hope you're all doing good. Right, a few of you guys have asked me this in the comments, and apologies for taking a little bit long to get this one done. You want to know what my Winspace is like long term. Disclaimer, I'm not the best person at reviews, you know, but I can give like an honest, real world opinion on the bike that you guys have asked me, well, if you should buy it, you know, and if it's worth the money, if it's any good. It's significantly cheaper than a lot of mainstream brands. And honestly, you do get a lot of bike for your money. So do you go and buy a Winspace? Or do you get a Specialized, a Cannondale, or one of those sorts of bikes, you know? Like, how does it stack up compared to those? So I was going to go for a bit of a ride and chat to you guys about it, but I might as well just actually tell you a bit about it. So what might help is if I tell you the actual model of the bike. So this is the Winspace SLC 2.0, and I'm running a size extra large, which is essentially a 58. And I'm like 187 centimetres tall. So I do normally ride a 56 frame. And with this, looking at the geo and everything, I did size up to a 58, and best decision. It feels lovely. So do check the geo charts before you commit to buying it. The guys at Winspace are super helpful as well. 1,480 bucks for the frame. The frame itself weighs 780 grams. I'm not sure about the fork, but you're talking like, I don't know, about like a kilogram or just over a kilo for the frame and fork. Anyway, I can't just stand here and waffle. I'm going to blooming freeze. Looks like it's icy out. Not sure if it is. We might fall off. We might even crash it. Hopefully not. So I'm just going to run through some pros and cons of the bike. Like, spoiler, there's not a lot of cons, to be honest. So if you guys are wondering like what the bike rides like, how it feels, and if it's worth the money, hopefully I can help you with that. Anyway, waffly long intro. Let's crack on and get some riding done, and then I'll check back in with you and give you some pros and some cons all about this bike. It's so sketchy out, like you don't know which bits are ice and which bits aren't ice, or what's frost and what's not frost. And I'm kind of like riding around expecting to fall over at any point. Like, I don't know if you can see, but it looks like it's ice, but I don't know if it's ice. Let's go and see. I'm gonna go and do a skid on it and see if I fall over. But like, yeah, like you're riding along, then you see this stuff. And honestly, it just sketches me out. Not complaining. I like being outside and it's a sunny day. Last thing I want to do on this like bike review ride is crash my bike. So details. It's made of carbon. I don't know, some sort of carbon. I don't know enough about carbon to tell you guys how different carbon feels, how the strength and all that stuff. But I've like bunny hopped it, I've ridden it downstairs, and it feels solid. And I sprint at like 1500 watts. The frame feels solid. Like there's good flex in it. Doesn't feel like it's gonna snap or, you know, feels well solid. So there we go, we've covered the material, carbon, and it doesn't fall apart, and it's light. There we go. No, but it feels stiff. It feels really nice on climbs. Like, it flexes enough, like when you ride over bumpy roads, like this one. And it has no rear brake bridge, so it kind of, I don't know, it means the back end flex is really nice. So it's a good carbon. Headset, 1 1/8 to a 1/2 inch. Pretty standard nowadays, isn't it? So it's nice and stiff. Like when you go through corners, like you can just rail it. Like honestly, this bike's kind of built for climbing, right? And like straight away, definitely one of the standout things for me is how planted it feels when you descend. It's just proper fun. And it's no good having a bike that's only awesome on the climbs that sucks on descents. So, whoa, sheep. Oh, I nearly missed them then, guys. You get up to the top of the climb and then the bike feels meh on the way down. Does not feel meh on the way down. Feels really planted, feels really responsive. Yeah, so as far as like responsiveness, that sort of stuff, oh, feels lovely. Actually, it reminds me of the Cannondale Super 6. That's if I was going to compare it to a bike. The Super 6 Evo, lovely bike. That's kind of what it reminds me of. So there we go, it's made of carbon and it's hella responsive and feels really nice. Both up and down. Cool, that's nearly like It's nearly an actual review, isn't it? Next one, the weight. Mine at the moment, I weighed it before I came out of the house, is 7.4 kilos. That's a size 58 frame. That's good, right? I think that's good. Like, basically, if I was riding a small frame, it would definitely be around like 6.8, 7 kilos. That is with a SRAM Red full electronic group setup on it, you know. The frame does also have full cable routing, and if you do get the bars that go with it, these integrated bars, you can completely hide your cables, which is something I keep on saying I'm going to do, but honestly, I'm just a bit lazy and I haven't done it yet. But it's a nice option to have, you know, for that full stealth effect, and it just looks really clean. What else to talk about? It's responsive, it's light. Oh, here, first bad point. Uses a BB86 bottom bracket. For me, I just don't like them. I don't like press fit bottom brackets. I just don't. So that is a definite down point for me, like the bottom bracket. I mean, I've had no issues with mine. I wouldn't not get one because of that, you know. Blooming lovely, isn't it? The only problem is that, like, I can't see anything, and if I put my sunglasses on, I feel rude talking to you guys, you know. So I'm going to stop over here. There's no sheep though. So I've had a few bikes, right, and the first thing I noticed when I got the Winspace out of the box is like how well packed it was, and the little touches they put in there. So you get spare mech hangers, you get like a load of spacers. So whether you use like the aero ones or just a normal round spacer, you get a bunch of those in there. You get these little tabs that you can bosh in there. So if you're running ETAP or Di2, that like you can hide all your cables and you don't have that weird open hole in your frame essentially. So that's really nice. I'm trying to think of other things I can tell you about it, you know. Like, what would you want to know about a bike? I mean, essentially that's it, right? Should you buy it? It's only available as a frame and fork, which is, I suppose, like a bit of a downside. Like, you can't buy a complete, I don't think. And so then you do have to buy, well, everything to go on the bike. So, you know, the frame and fork's going to cost you like $1,400. Then, like, if you get a set of like, well, like if you go for their wheels, it's going to cost you around about another $1,000. So you're looking at $2,400 for like a carbon frame and a set of carbon wheels. And then when you get your group set or the other stuff, let's just say $1,000 for that, you're looking at $3,400 for a complete. Like, which isn't actually that bad considering it's like carbon wheels, carbon frame, and it's not like cheap carbon wheels and cheap carbon frame. It's like a good quality. So for me, I'd definitely say it's better than some of the off the peg like bikes you can buy. I mean, look how much the Specialized, was it, LA disc is. I think mine was like $2,000. It comes with like a 105 group set, a set of aluminium rims, and the frame's aluminium. It's just not worth it, to be honest. It's a good bike, but like the frame and fork of the Specialized LA, the aluminium one, is more expensive than this as a carbon frame, and I've ridden both and this feels nicer. So it might not be a crit specific frame, but I prefer to race it in crits, you know. I think it'll just be a nicer bike. It feels nicer, you know, it's not so stiff, it's a bit more forgiving. I proper rate it, as you guys can probably tell. Maybe that it's only available as a frame and fork, like that could be a downside, it could be a drawback, you know, it could put some people off buying it, because a lot of people might want to buy a complete and just done and dusted, you know. A very, very long waffly vlog today. You guys wanted to know about the Winspace. I figured I'd give you a proper update. Like I say, I'm not like, don't know, this isn't Row CC, you know. I'd like to learn more about frames, and the only way I can do that is by riding more and more and more. I'd tell you if it was a rubbish bike, and honestly, I don't think it is. So if we are looking at a new frame, fork, like I certainly wouldn't rule out Winspace, you know. But also, just to throw another spanner in the works, I am about to get another frame from a different company. So they're sending me a frame, an aero version. Maybe hold off until I've tested that one if you're about to buy a new frame. That should be here soon. I hope you guys found this interesting, enjoyable, and it gave you a little bit of an insight. And if you're wondering whether you should buy one or not, I hope it helped you. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys very soon. Bye.